If your toddler does the subtle thing with their eyes when you pause during playtime, it could be one of 10 early indicators of autism that often show up between 18 months and 2.5 years old. These signs are incredibly understated, slipping right past most parents and even some medical experts. As a pediatric occupational therapist here at the Parent Hub, I partner with families every single day to spot and address these nuances. Today, I'm diving deep into all 10 signs, showing you simple ways to observe them at home. Catching them early? It can truly transform your child's growth trajectory, setting them up for better communication, social skills, and overall development. Welcome to the Parent Hub, your ultimate resource for practical, evidence-based parenting advice tailored to toddlers, preschoolers, and beyond. I'm Lily, a board-certified pediatric occupational therapist with over 15 years of hands-on experience working in clinics, schools, and homes, helping thousands of families navigate developmental challenges. At the Parent Hub, we believe in empowering parents with knowledge that's actionable, non-judgmental, and rooted in real science, not scare tactics. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get alerted every time we drop a new video packed with tips to make your parenting journey smoother. And if this content resonates with you today, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Tell me, what's one thing you're going to try observing in your child this week? Your stories and questions help build this amazing community of supportive parents. Before we jump in, let's set the stage a bit. Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects how a person communicates, interacts socially, and processes sensory information. It's called a spectrum because it presents differently in every child. Some might have mild challenges, while others need more support. The key is early detection. Research from organizations like the CDC and Autism Speaks shows that interventions starting before age 3 can lead to significant improvements in language, behavior, and independence. But here's the catch. Many signs are so subtle in toddlers that they're often dismissed as just a phase or personality quirks. That's why videos like this are crucial. We'll cover the 10 signs based on established guidelines from the American Academy of Pediatrics and my own clinical experience. Remember, this isn't a diagnostic tool. It's education to spark conversations with your healthcare provider. Now, back to that eye thing I mentioned in the title. It all revolves around how your child uses eye contact as a foundational tool for communication, particularly during interactive play. Eye contact isn't just about looking at someone, it's a way for toddlers to connect, share, and request. Here's a simple, quick test you can try right at home to check this out. The next time you're playing with your toddler, say around 18 months or older, grab their absolute favorite toy. Maybe it's a colorful ball, a push car, a stuffed animal, or even a simple block. Get down on their level on the floor to make it engaging and natural. Start a back and forth game. Roll the ball to them, let them roll it back. Push the card toward you, have them push it to you. Build up that fun, rhythmic interaction for a minute or two. Then, when it's your turn to send it back, just pause. Hold on to the toy for a few seconds longer than expected and watch closely without saying anything. What should happen in a typically developing child? They'll glance at the toy briefly, maybe for a split second, then lift their gaze right up to your face. It's like their eyes are saying, "Hey, Mom or Dad, why'd you stop? Come on, keep the game going." They might even add a verbal cue, like babbling more or saying again or car, while maintaining that eye contact. This is them actively using their eyes to communicate a want to engage you and to restart the connection. It's a beautiful, instinctive social bid. But if your child gets upset or frustrated because the game halted, maybe they whine or reach for the toy, but they just keep staring intently at the toy itself without shifting their eyes up to you for help or prompting, that's a potential concern. They're not bridging that gap with eye contact to pull you back into the interaction. Why does this matter so much? By 18 months, toddlers should be using eye contact routinely to convey 3 core things. First, to share excitement, like when they discover something cool and their eyes light up, as if to say, "Look how awesome this is. Aren't you thrilled too?" Second, to express emotions, from sheer joy over a tickle session to disgust at a new food, using their gaze to amplify those feelings and invite your response. And third, to request help or items, such as looking at you while pointing to a snack on a high shelf, essentially communicating, "I need that. Can you get it for me?" If eye contact feels inconsistent or absent in these everyday scenarios, not just during play but in routines like mealtime or bedtime, that could be sign number one. In my practice, I've seen parents overlook this because they think their child is shy or independent, but it's often a clue to deeper communication challenges. If you notice this, don't panic, just observe over a few days and note patterns. We'll talk more about next steps later. Before we dive into the next sign, I want to emphasize something critical. Seeing one, two, or even a few of these signs in isolation doesn't mean your child has autism. Every kid develops at their own pace, and factors like temperament, environment, or even temporary phases like teething or growth spurt can influence behaviors. The goal of this video at the Parent Hub is to arm you with awareness so you can advocate for your child if needed. If something feels off, chat with your pediatrician, a speech therapist, or an occupational therapist like me. They can perform screenings like the MCHAT, Modified Checklist for Autism in Toddlers, to assess further. Early intervention services, often free through programs like Early Steps in the US, can make all the difference without any formal diagnosis required initially. Okay, no stress. Let's keep going. Sign number two focuses on how your little one shares their world with you through joint attention. This is about more than just pointing. It's about ensuring you're both on the same page. Here is an easy home experiment to try at home. Pick one of your child's most beloved toys. Let's stick with that little car for consistency. Hold it up with enthusiasm and say, "Look, it's your favorite car." Then place it somewhere across the room, just barely out of their reach, maybe on a low table or behind a chair. Step back and ask casually, "Where's your car? Can you show me?" In a typical scenario, your toddler should point directly at the car, extending their finger or even their whole hand, and then immediately look back at you to check if you're following along. Their eyes dart from the object to your face as if confirming, "You see what I'm seeing? Isn't this exciting?" This back and forth gaze is the hallmark of shared interest. It's them inviting you into their discovery. But if they simply look at the car, perhaps walk toward it or even grab it themselves without that crucial glance back to you, or if they point but don't verify your attention, that's missing the joint attention piece. They're engaging with the object but not pulling you in socially. Why is this a sign? Joint attention is a building block for learning language and social skills. It's how kids learn words for things by seeing you label them in the moment. In my sessions, I've worked with kids who master pointing for requests, like "I want that," but struggle with sharing for pure connection. If this sounds familiar, try the test a few times with different toys to see if it's consistent. Now, let's expand this to gestures in general, which brings us to sign number three. Gestures are like a toddler's first language, non-verbal ways to express needs, wants, and emotions before words fully kick in. By 18 to 24 months, your child should have a repertoire including raising arms high for "pick me up," waving hello or goodbye when people come or go, clapping hands in excitement during songs or games, nodding yes or shaking no to simple questions, holding palms out to signal stop or no more, beckoning with fingers or hands to say "come here" or "follow me," and of course, pointing at out-of-reach items or interesting sights. These should happen spontaneously, not just when prompted. If you're constantly coaching, "wave bye-bye to grandma" or "clap your hands like this," and they rarely initiate on their own, that's a subtle flag. Gestures help bridge to verbal language. Without them, communication can lag. Think about it. A wave isn't just a motion, it's a social reciprocity. In therapy, I often teach parents to model gestures exaggeratedly during play to encourage imitation, but if your child isn't picking up on them naturally, it might warrant a closer look. On the flip side, and this is sign number four, does your toddler understand and respond to your gestures? This receptive side is equally vital. Test it like this. Point across the room at something intriguing, like a toy on the shelf, a pet outside the window, or even a picture on the wall, and say with wonder, "Wow, look at that!" Your child should follow the direction of your point to the actual object, not stare at your hand or finger as if that's the focus. Extend this observation to daily life. When you wave, do they wave back automatically? Smile broadly at them, and do they grin in return? Stretch your arms out for a hug, and do they toddle over eagerly for that embrace? Or when you shake your head no during a game, do they mimic or understand to stop? Consistent responses show they're tuned into social cues. If not, if they ignore your points or don't reciprocate gestures, it could indicate challenges in processing nonverbal communication. I've had families tell me their child doesn't get jokes or ignores hugs, and it often ties back to this. Sign number 5 is about responding to their name, a seemingly basic skill but a cornerstone of attention and social engagement. To check this, wait until your toddler is deeply focused on something, like playing with blocks or watching a toy spin. Using a normal, calm voice, call their name once. Pause for 7 to 10 seconds to give them time to process. No response? Call again, same tone. Still nothing? One more time. By the second or third call, they should at least pause what they're doing, turn toward you, or look up as if acknowledging, "Yes, what is it?" This should happen reliably, not just occasionally. Toddlers get absorbed, sure, but consistent non-response after ruling out hearing issues with a quick pediatric check is concerning. It might suggest difficulties with auditory processing or selective attention, common in autism. In my experience, parents often mistake this for stubbornness, but it's worth exploring. Shifting gears to language development for sign number 6. Language is intertwined with all these communication signs, so let's break it down age appropriately. By 18 months, expect at least 3 to 6 words beyond mama or dada that they use independently, not just repeating after you. For instance, seeing a dog and saying dog unprompted, or pointing to their sippy cup and declaring juice. They should also comprehend and follow simple one-step instructions without visual aids, like go get your ball and they fetch it, clap your hands and they do so, give me the book and they hand it over. No pointing or gesturing from you needed. They understand the words alone. By 24 months, vocabulary explodes to 50-plus words, with 2-word combos emerging: more milk, big truck, daddy home. Conversations, even if mostly babble, should feel turn-taking. Their tone rises like a question, they pause for your reply, then respond. If words are scarce, instructions confuse them, or talks feel monologue-like, language delay could be at play. Factors like bilingual homes or ear infections can influence this, so context matters, but persistent lags deserve attention. At the Parent Hub, we know boosting language starts at home, but in stressful moments like rushing out the door or mid-tantrum, phrases like "because I said so," "use your words," or "calm down" slip out. They're relatable, but they can unintentionally shut down communication by not modeling helpful language. Instead, try validating feelings, like "I see you're upset, let's take a deep breath together." Small swaps build emotional vocabulary. That's why I created our free guide, 10 Phrases to Swap for Stronger Toddler Connections. It details common pitfalls, why they hinder development, and easy alternatives backed by child psychology. Plus, it includes principal scripts for tough scenarios. Download it now via the link in the description. It's helped over 5,000 parents at the Parent Hub already. Sign number 7 is about sharing excitement and discoveries purely for joy, not utility. This isn't testable on command. Observe organically throughout the day. When they find something captivating, like a ladybug on the window, a shiny pebble outside, or a funny shadow, do they bring it to you, hold it up close to your face, make eye contact, and maybe exclaim, "Look," or babble excitedly? It's about shared delight. "This is cool, let's enjoy it together." Contrast that with dropping it in your lap for help, like "open this," or ignoring you entirely to play solo. If the sharing aspect is missing, they engage alone without seeking your reaction, that's a sign. This declarative pointing fosters empathy in relationships. I've seen kids in therapy light up when we practice this through games like show and tell. Sign number 8 dives into play styles. Up to 18 months, play is exploratory, banging pots, mouthing toys, stacking and knocking down blocks. But between 18 and 30 months, imagination kicks in. Pretend play. Dolls get fed with invisible spoons. Teddy bears have bedtime stories read to them. Cars zoom on roads with vroom sounds and traffic jams. Dinosaurs roar in battles, and play kitchens churn out feasts while talking on toy phones. To assess, quietly watch free play. Are there storylines? Does the doll cry and get comforted? Bears visit grandma? If play stays literal and repetitive, spinning wheels obsessively, lining up toys in rows without variation, or sorting by color endlessly, that lacks symbolic thinking, a potential indicator. Pretend play builds creativity, problem solving, and social understanding. Encourage it by joining in. Oh, the dolly's hungry. Let's make her some soup. Sign number 9, imitation or copying actions. By 2 years, toddlers are shadows. You vacuum, they vacuum with the toy. Brush hair, they mimic. Sing a song with claps, they join in. Stir food, they pretend cook. And this extends to social gestures like blowing kisses or high fives. Why crucial? Imitation is how they learn everything, from self-care to manners. If they watch but don't participate, even in simple acts like waving or stacking blocks like you, it's noteworthy. Exhausting as it can be, they want to help with everything. It's developmental gold. In sessions, we use mirror games to spark this. Finally, sign number 10, repetitive body movements, aka stimming. Look for ongoing patterns like finger flaring, spreading and closing repeatedly, twirling fingers near eyes to watch light patterns, hand flapping when excited or overwhelmed, head shaking side to side, not for yes or no, body rocking, spinning in circles, or persistent toe walking. Short bursts or experiments? Normal, toddler curiosity. But if these persist daily for weeks, dominating playtime or soothing during stress, discuss it. Stimming can regulate sensory input, but if excessive, it might interfere with engagement. Strategies like sensory toys help channel it positively. Wrapping up these 10 signs, remember, autism isn't a bad thing. It's a different way of experiencing the world, and with support, kids thrive. If several ring true, schedule that pediatric chat. Early therapies like ABA, speech, or OT can boost outcomes dramatically. Beyond signs, toddlers have quirks that worry us needlessly. Check my video, 7 Common Toddler Behaviors That Are Totally Normal and When They're Not. We cover headbanging, picky eating, and more. Link in the description. Thanks for spending time with me at the Parent Hub. If this helped, like, subscribe, and comment. Which sign will you watch for? Share your experiences. We're in this together. Until next time, happy parenting. You've got this.